If you haven't seen my other videos recently on Danny Masterson and his most recent updates or what's going on with him, I'm going to give you a quick recap so you know what's been happening, and then I'm going to give you the latest update on that. So yeah, Danny Masterson got moved to Corcoran State Prison from North Kern after he was evaluated. So he's moved to Corcoran, and the latest is there is a hit out on Danny Masterson already that fast. Okay. Now, who put this hit on Danny Masterson? This is coming from the GBG, or the Gay Boy Gangsters. Yeah, no, I'm not making it up. It's not a joke. That's a pretty deadly and pretty dangerous force out there in California. The homosexual inmates, they kind of click up, join forces to protect each other. And hey, listen, a bunch of them are pretty dangerous. They got a pretty bad reputation out there when it comes to violence. So they have a hit out on Danny Masterson. They have a guy on the same yard, Corcoran yard, who's supposed to carry out this hit. What's he waiting for? Well, it's the fact that the entire state of California, not the entire state, but all the jails and prisons have been on lockdown. I've been on lockdown because there was a riot that involved like 200 inmates and corrections officers. A corrections officer got headbutted by some inmate, a very influential inmate, and just a whole bunch of stuff happened. Long story short on that, when a riot happens at any jail or any prison at a certain state, that entire state, DOC, Department of Corrections, all those facilities go on lockdown, no matter where it happened at. Okay. So they've been on lockdown. So the GBG is waiting for the lockdown to be lifted before they can get to Danny. Now, before this lockdown can be lifted, Danny decides to start saying and telling the staff at his prison, probably, I'm assuming, this isn't fact, but I'm assuming because he might have heard that there's a hit out on him. In an attempt to run away from that, he has told the staff that he wants to himself. Okay. So when the staff hears that, they have to put you on, I can't even say the word. It sucks that I can't say the word, but I can't because it's YouTube. But they have to put you on blank watch, the S word. Basically, that watch. So when they put you on that, I'll tell you how that goes in a minute. But he's been on that. They keep you there for 10 days. So he basically has 10 days to figure out what are you going to do next. Because if they don't see, any reason to keep you there after this initial 10 days, which they probably won't because you're probably not actually insane, right? They're going to send you right back. So this kind of bought you a little time, but honestly, it didn't really buy you any kind of time because you did this while everything is on lockdown. So no one was going to be able to get to you anyways. Now, maybe when they came off lockdown, if you would have done this, then that would buy you an additional 10 days, I guess. But I mean, what is 10 days? I mean, it's not a permanent solution to someone having a hit out on you. So here's the latest. Okay. California DOCs, the jails, the prisons, they're all off lockdown. They've been off lockdown for quite a few days now. And I got this update about 2 days ago. So by today, at the time of me making this video, Danny Masterson has one more day left on blank watch before they send him back to the same place he was, where he is vulnerable and open to whatever hit may be carried out. Okay. He has one more day. So, of course, starting tomorrow, I'm going to keep my eyes and ears peeled for whatever might come next. I mean, I'm not thinking the very second he gets brought back to the SNY yard, which is where he was before he made these claims and got taken to a special place. The second he comes back, something, it's just all hell breaks loose. Sure, I'm not expecting that. I'm sure it may take a few days after that, but you really never know when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen. I assume that it wouldn't. I have a lot of reasons why I think he was going to be okay as long as he had the financial means to pay extortion, but Hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if this happens, I mean, I'm just giving you the updates I'm given. And if that's what happens, then I was wrong about it. But aside from that, let me explain to you kind of what he's going through now, what he's been going through for the past 10 days on this blank watch. When you express something like you want to do something to yourself and the staff has to bring you to this special place, they strip you of all your clothes, of all your items, all your hygiene, food, letter. You don't get any personal items. You're in a cell alone. There's no bed. There's a toilet in there. And some places don't even have a toilet. They actually have a hole that is carved into the cement floor, and that's where you use the bathroom. So it often smells really bad in these cells. Okay. You're stripped of all your clothes because you may use that to do something to yourself. And they put you in what we call, I'm sure the staff doesn't call it this, but we inmates call a turtle suit. We call it a turtle suit because it's usually dark green and it's kind of resembles like a shell, a turtle shell that kind of it's like padding, but it's strapped to your body. And it covers your private areas and stuff, but doesn't really cover much. I mean, it's still embarrassing to have to wear. And the staff knows this. Now, here's the thing. The staff will kind of weaponize the fact that, we can take you and put you in a turtle suit and nobody wants to be there, right? Nobody wants to have to go through that as far as inmates. But if I'm being fair and I'm telling you both sides and being honest and giving you the no BS breakdown of how this works, yeah, the staff kind of weaponizes the fact that they can do that. But I think that's because the inmates first weaponized the fact that we can make false claims of wanting to ourselves and use that to maneuver around the prison and get here and get there or escape this and escape that. And you're basically making things up that aren't true because you don't really want to do that to yourself. You don't really feel that way. And I guess at some point the staff realized this and got tired of it and was tired of just feeding into that. And so I think usually they feel like they can tell the difference between someone who actually does and someone who's just trying. They have a hidden motive. They have an agenda here by saying that. And so they started doing that. They're quick to put you in that turtle suit and just make it a really crappy experience for you. So I can tell you this, Danny Masterson is not having a good time. This is probably one of the most humiliating 10 days that he's ever been through since he got locked up. I can guarantee you that. I mean, it's freezing cold in these cells. You don't have any clothes. You got some weird turtle shell strapped to you. You look like an insane person. You look like a lunatic, a maniac. If he even has a toilet in there, then that's all he's got in there. Might not even have that. Might even just have that hole that's drilled into the ground. And it's awful. It's awful. So for him to do that, for him to make the decision to move and voluntarily be moved into one of these places to escape whatever hit that he heard he has on him. Hey man, he must have really been that scared, and here's the thing. You're going to have to go through all that humiliation, all that just hard living, terrible way to do time, right? You're going to have to go through all that. And then guess what? You've been faking. And so most likely, you've been faking. So you're going to have to go right back to where you were and face the same thing you were running from and did what you did and went through what you just went through. I mean, it's all for nothing because you're going to have to go right back there and face what you just ran from. So that's, yeah, like I said in my last video, I mean, my advice to him, hey, listen, you're just going to have to face the music and hope you live through it. And if you don't, well, then then you're not living the rest of your life in prison. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, you can't spend the next 30, 40, 50, 60 years running away from some guy who wants to beat you up or stab you, whatever. Like, do something, man. Like, you're there now. That's the name of the game where you're at. Maybe try doing it and maybe people will kind of like, I don't know, take a step or two back from you. But man, if you're just trying to wiggle all over the jail, man, somebody's going to get you. Like, there's no safe places. I don't care. Protective custody, this unit, that watch, this thing, that thing. There's no safe places in prison. There just aren't. If somebody wants to get you bad enough, or if, there's enough money out there incentivizing them to do so. So you might as well just face the music and do your best. Don't just stand there, do your best. And hey, you might just turn it all around. Who knows? But there's your latest update on Danny Masterson. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribed if you're not already, because like I said, he's got 1 day left. That time is ticking down, and then he's back to exactly where he was, which is presumably right there with that guy who's supposed to get him when they come off of lockdown, which they now are. So, it's really go time starting tomorrow. And I'm just going to be here waiting to see what happens, if anything. And if nothing happens, I'll let you know. But if something happens, I'll be right here with the update. Thanks for watching. See you next time.